Hello, 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 and welcome, Piscean Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for March 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Pisces moon. Yay! My Mer people, my Mer family. How y'all doing? Well, let's find out how y'all doing on the path of true love. If you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment as you see fit, because I'm having a field day serving you all in this way through YouTube, getting clients and private readings all around the globe. Kind of fun for me. The hermit of Holbrook, Long Island. I used to lead a very public life. I work from my house and hang out with friends on occasion. I'm 51. That's okay. Perfect time for that kind of thing. I guess I'm in a nesting phase. Let's see. Let's get down to business, though, for this reading. By the way, I've recently been monetized. I made it to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, my subscribers. I'm putting the link to the thank you video in the description box below. Please go watch if you haven't already. I even give a little blessing, though it was done at the last new moon in Pisces. There you go. Watch it anyway, because I'm truly, truly, truly thankful. And we are doing our first Drunk Tarot Sunday, March 1st. So if you missed it on Super Chat, it's fine. You can go back and watch it. I'm hoping it's a lot of fun. Obviously, we haven't done it yet. I'm doing this the day before on the 29th, a leap day. And just getting these readings done so I can go and party with my friends, my new family of friends of mine from high school that I reconnected with recently. I made them bolognese. We're going to hang out. We're doing like stone soup family supper, right? Everybody's bringing something. So it's going to be lovely. So let's have some fun with this. Path of True Love reads are lovely. We're doing the Celtic cross spread. So much fun. But please keep in mind this is a general read, right? We're not reading just one person. We're reading symbolically hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, right? Take one zodiac sign, then multiply it by Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. That's a lot, right? So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs in other placements, right? It's just wise to do. And plus, I try and keep them fun and interesting and informative because I am a spiritual teacher as well as a reading and have been since jump, apparently. And keep in mind, this is a Path of True Love reading. This reading is about you. Yes, there may be soulmate contracts and twin flame contracts and other people of all different relationship formats and forms in your life, but this is about you. This is about your spiritual path, your healing path, your hero's journey, seen through the lenses of your relationship and not just the romantic sexual. Granted, those are the biggest dragons. We have to slay the fears and the emotions and all of that psychology connected to that. But, that connects to your relationship with your parents, your relationships to siblings if you had them, friends, coworkers. It's all here to serve you, to help you become the best that you can be in this life, who you are destined to be in this life. Your relationships are sort of like the little hammers and chisels that chip away the excess marble, revealing the work of art that you truly are, just like the David. That's what Michelangelo said when asked how he created the David. He said he didn't, God did, but that he just chipped away the excess marble. Welcome to the Path of True Love. It ain't always pretty, but who you become in the end, even in process. Quite lovely, even at the end of the day. Cool. So we're going to do the Celtic cross for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. All I need you to do is breathe. The more you are consciously aware of your breath, the more in the present moment you are, and I'm going to be doing the same, the more the best of us comes out in terms of the guidance and the grace. I keep finding the still point, ringing the bell, the silent bell in the center of my heart chakra is how I see it. For that just touch of divine resonance, and in that droplet of divine resonance comes the guidance and the grace for the reading. So let's dive in. We're doing 24 cards. I think you're going to like this one. Every time I do a spread, I think I'm going to do the same one, and the guides are like, now do it this way. So we're going to start you off with just one Caroline Myss archetype card. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. I had grapes last night. There was a grape stem there. So go have a look. Go have a look at the very, very bottom of the description box below so you can check out all of the different decks that I read, as well as check out some of my links on the way down. Cool, cool. Let's do this. Breathe. Oh, my collective pantheons. There you are. I love you guys. Of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, just one card. What is the dominant archetype, the dominant soul pattern that this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign will be encountering within themselves or within someone else on the path of true love for March 2020? Please, just one card. My collective pantheons, please leave it right in my hands. This one. Got it. Yay, it's the only Caroline Myss card. I love these cards, but I've had people feedback. It's like, oh, you had me until you said the Caroline Myss cards, because she's a tough cookie teacher. But I love her. She's like one of the few people on the planet that actually intimidated me. I'm pretty balls to the wall. Oh, well. Here we go. Your first card down. A card that, because she gives you blank cards in the deck to write down archetypes that are not in the deck, I got one of those, and it's the card of the witch archetype, which I am wholly, W-H-O-L-L-Y, familiar with, being a witch also since jump, it would seem. So every archetype is light and shadow, right? Is lead and gold, toxic and healthy. So of course we incarnate with not just our own stuff to learn in this life, but we're carrying stuff for the collective unconscious too, right? In this unconscious mind, which is where archetypes originate, right? They're the soul patterns, the routing systems of power in our lives that we come in to develop, transforming lead to gold. Go read Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss, or just put it into the Google search field, Caroline Myss Sacred Contracts, and you'll get so many different videos, including different archetype cards. A lot of people do videos about the different cards in this deck individually. So of course we know what the shadow side of the witch is. It's not as subtle as, say, the poet archetype or the engineer archetype, right? We all know what the wicked witch is, right? One who uses her wisdom, her power, her know-how, her experience to do harm. Now, Wicca has the Wiccan read, and ye harm none, do what you will, but I know plenty of witches who are like, screw that, I'm out for me, and that's cool too. If it's coming from a place of honor, there's nothing wrong with casting for personal gain, right? To use esoteric knowledge. But along with the witch, comes the light side. And that's how, over the decades in this life, I have alchemized that witch archetype within myself. And I am a Pisces moon, so that's why I can relate to this one a little bit more than, say, if it was another sign or another archetype that I don't have in my archetypal makeup. It's all about knowledge plus wisdom equals experience, because the word witch means wise person. You could say shaman, right? It's like you never really had a community of witches. You had a community of pagans with one witch, right? Like that's the shaman. But I don't appropriate that word shaman anymore. I used to. There was a time on Long Island in the 90s and in the early 2000s where there's just all these blonde women calling themselves shaman. Now, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. I don't, you call yourself what you're going to call yourself. But, are you an indigenous person, right? Like so that conversation about cultural appropriation has been happening around the word shaman. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm a witch, right? Because it doesn't matter where you are. You can be a wise person, and it's gender neutral, just saying. So what is the light side of the witch? Well, whether you identify as one or not, it's definitely using your wisdom to serve. Yes, of course, to serve yourself, right? If you know that, who doesn't know this by now? Aloe is good for burns. Yeah, but before the internet books, you got that shit word of mouth, or you just figured it out on your own, right? Or was passed down, right? From generation to generation. Folk healing, stuff like that. But, the witch now, with the amount of technology that we have and opportunities, and no one needs to know you're a witch. I don't really care if anybody comes out of the broom closet. I was born out of the broom closet, apparently. And the gay closet. And the brunette closet. I really have purple hair. No, it's purple now. So, to be the witch on the path of true love, and I will tell you, it's something I have struggled with, being a witch on the path of true love, because people think you're a monster, right? It's like vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein, and witches. If you did that to any other spiritual path or religion, people would be protesting in the streets, right? There would be lawsuits here, there, and everywhere. So there does come with it a bit of a stigma, or at least fear, that people are going to be afraid because you know something they don't. And that's why we cackle, because we know shit people don't. But don't worry, we're going to clarify this card before we hit the Celtic Cross with a Chuck Spezzano Love Pack card, right? There, if you're new to my channel, this pack has 4 suits in it, like, you know, a playing card deck, I guess you could say. Half of the deck, though, is the suit of problems. So that's going to show you the problem that you're dealing with. But the other 3 are the suits of luck, healing, and grace. So let's see what your pack of true love, what your love pack companion is. Baby love pack, love baby, that's where it's at, yeah. Let's get one of these from the voices of the Ascended Masters, right? Just to see who's your companion, so to speak. Not literally, not because it could be anybody, but this energetic dynamic. Nice deep breath. Oh, that was yummy. Oh, my Ascended Masters, please, just one card from the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, a piece of grace, a piece of healing, a piece of luck, or a piece of the problem for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, right? Their path of true love read for March 2020, please. Wow. You got a healing card, all right, but you got the healing card of commitment. Now, I know, we immediately jump to the romantic, sexual, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. That's why we got a Celtic cross spread going to hit the table. This can be commitment to yourself, commitment to the path itself, commitment to your own healing, commitment to loving yourself, to a spiritual practice, to anything. But can also, of course, be about commitment in relationships. But remember, we have commitments to our friends, to our families, to jobs, right? Like, I don't necessarily look at your relationship to your job as a path of true love thing. Could be, because that's work, career, vocation. I could really do a whole separate read of those once a month. Maybe I will someday. Work, career, vocation, they're not the same thing, but they're all lumped together. They satisfy different aspects of the soul. But perhaps, you know, your commitment to your boss, your commitment to your employer, your employee, right? However that would to a company, that's stretching it a bit. Usually this feels more like tribal or one-on-one relationship path of true love, but we'll see how that plays out. But get that there's a healing available for you this month in terms of commitment. And remember, that can be the commitment to the child of your heart, your inner child, seeing your, particularly as a water sign, my Pisceans. I'm a Pisces moon, I know. That little child in my heart, sometimes it's a boy, sometimes it's a girl. But I see my heart chakra as my inner child, and I have made the commitment, honey, I don't care what the fuck happens out here. I love you, right? You can cry, you can get frustrated, you can kick, you can want to punch the walls. But you're not going to punch the walls. Why? Because we own this house. and we're not going to make that text, and we're not going to, you know, and if you feel unsafe around anybody, you let me know. That's a commitment. That's the main relationship. I want to get like a t-shirt made that says inner child work is not a technique, it's a relationship. It's too much to put on a t-shirt and no one would buy it. So, that being said, still it's so essential. Go watch Kahn, All for Love. Man, I've been doing inner child work since I was a child, essentially a teenage, living in Boston. When I went to college is when I found it. That he kind of revised the whole thing, or at least gave a new perspective on it, renewed it, bless his heart. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get the 10 positions in the Celtic cross spread, but we're going to do it with 2 different decks. The Daughters of the Moon Tarot to represent the voices of my deities, goddesses, and gods in one deck. I know usually I split them up with 2 different decks, but we're not this time. And the other, the voices of the angels with the healing with the angels oracle. So I'm going to shuffle these in total first, and I'll say top 10 cards, so we'll just draw from the top. And then I'm going to do these at the same time so it saves a little time. Let's get it out of the way. Nice deep breath. I think you'll like how we're going to do this. We're doing this a little differently this time. Here we go. Still point. Oh, my gods and my goddesses sacred, my gods and goddesses of true love, please. Top 10 cards, Celtic cross for this Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for March 2020. Please, my gods, top 10 cards. Thank you very much. It was very, very simple. Clean cut, please. Ooh, halfway through. Maiden. Very nice. Mother. Crone. If you're new to the channel, what I mean by clean cut is sometimes with round cards, one will connect to the crook of your finger, the crease where your knuckle is, and it'll hang. And I'm like, are you going to drop or not? So I prefer a clean cut. I'm a Virgo. Let's do the same with the Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Nice deep breath. Oh, my angelics. Oh, my celestials. Hello, hello, hello. Please, top 10 cards for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for March 2020, please. We just want to have a look in tandem with the gods. If you can partner with them on this, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, path of true love, Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, March 2020, Maiden, Mother, Crone. Guess I could say choirs, dominions, virtues. I've studied way too much of this stuff. Okay, so let's dive in. We've got them down, and what I'm going to do, all right, I have to do this way. We're going to pull 2 at once, right? Instead of laying 10 down first and then the other 10, watch this. First, the card of the cover. What is the card that covers you? And I should put in how I read Celtic Cross into this description box. Try and remember that kind of September. Ready? So, the gods say where you are, the card that covers you on the path of true love for March 2020-ish, timeless. Okay, 4 of Cups. Now, the deck is the card has written on it the word sorrow, but it need not be so. I call this emotional release. I do a lot of emotional healing work. Pisces moon that I am. Rebirthing, EFT, right? Embracing the shadow, inner child work. Did I say inner child work? I should say inner child work. Letting that baby cry, but sometimes that baby needs to scream. Sometimes that baby needs to punch. Sometimes that baby needs to just want to go all the way home. And I mean, not just to the building. I mean, back to God, back to source. I am a mystic. That's the strongest call for yearning of love that I have, is love of the divine. That's why my spiritual practice is so essential, right? I love the gods in all of their form, the divine. It's like I could be a monk. But I don't know how to do it without Wi-Fi. So, I can't. Well, what about Instagram? Here's my bread and water. So an emotional release with romance. Oh God, the angels are just smacking you right over the head. So now we know it's a romantic reading, right? Or at least you might be healing some emotional stuff about letting go of a romance. And we're going to put this in context. Let's not label this already as heartbreak. I mean, it's a 4. 3 cups are knocked over, but there's still one standing. You're familiar with that image if you're familiar with tarot. But this could also be that overflowing where a romance comes into your experience and it just overwhelms you, right? And it's like being triggered. Can we say that the 4 of Cups, particularly in this sort of depiction, in certain decks it's the 5 of Cups where 4 are knocked over, 1 is standing. But can we call that emotionally triggered, right? Something happens, a wave comes in and knocks over 3 of the cups but leaves 1 standing. So this could be a romantic emotional overwhelm where you kind of fall in love. Now, granted, there are other cards that could say that. We usually think of the 2 of Cups as that. But the 2 of Cups is about emotional attraction, right? It's you've just met or you saw each other across the room. There's that zzz, it's only a 2. This could be then through the 3, the emotional bonding, and the 4 of just now just sort of being overwhelmed. But if this card sorrow does bear out, right, if that's really what's going on and this is disappointment and heartbreak, then it's, oh my God, it happens on the path of true love. It's necessary on the path of true love. That's like having a hero's journey without a dragon to slay, or it's not much of a quest if there's not a risk, if there's not some suffering and some pain. Otherwise, that's just running errands, right? The path of true love is a warrior's path. It's a hero's journey. Trust me, I've been on it my whole life. And it takes so many lifetimes just to set up what we're going through in this lifetime. So you got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger, you gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is true love will save the day, because it always fucking does. It's worth it, right? So that's you, that's the cover. The cover. The cross is now the situation, the environment that you're dealing with. So the gods, well, the card of justice, Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess, justice, if you will, who weighs your heart upon your death against usually an ostrich feather, is I think how that goes. It looks like an ostrich feather in the card at least. And if your heart is heavier than the ostrich feather, it depends on who you read, well, which interpretation of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Some say, oh, you have to reincarnate. Others say, oh, your soul gets eaten by a demon or something. Not going there. But if your heart is balanced with the ostrich feather or lighter, then you get to move on. Now, move on to what? Again, different according to interpretations. And yes, it has been said I could have been a comparative religion scholar, but I'd have to wear those like tweed jackets with the elbow. Fuck that. Fuck those elbow pads. Nope. No. And you know I'd end up sleeping with my students. Nope. No. I took the healing path. Thank you very much. Rather than the academic. I probably wouldn't be allowed to have purple hair. And with that is enchantment. So you've got an enchanted balancing of the scales here. So fear not, my darlings. If you have screwed up, it's okay. You can't get the divine plan wrong. You're just being rebalanced. If something has gone wrong in your opinion in terms of someone treating you unjustly, yeah, sure, this is a card of karmic justice, but it's all part of the divine plan in terms of getting you balanced out between your personality, your ego, and your soul. They're not the same things, right? The soul is the eternal, immortal part of you that keeps incarnating like the actor who is cast, chosen, hired to play the role of whatever your name is and in whatever body you're in this life. And along with that comes all these patterns and ancestral stuff and emotional baggage, right? Like all of this psychology that the path of true love, like chipping away the excess marble, sands you down. Another really good metaphor is a rock tumbler, right? You put all these jagged rocks, semi-precious, whatever, in a rock tumbler with grit, which is essentially different grains of sand, I guess, and you let it go for like 24, 48 hours, and it kicks the crap out of them, but they come out so beautifully polished. So if you collect crystals and have tumbled stones, that's why they're tumbled stones, it's a rather rough process they go through, right? So with the card of enchantment, something is not as it appears to be, that you may not see how this is all balancing out. And it's one of my least favorite divination cards in any system, because I don't like the word enchantment. Enchantment means something is not as it appears to be, right? So in this card they use, Doreen Virtue had the artist draw a unicorn. Now you go, oh, I love unicorns. See what's there. A couple of 1,000 pounds of raw muscle, the deadly weapon on its head, and it can't be controlled but by a virgin. Where you gonna find one, right? Read Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett. Everything I really needed to learn about the occult and witchcraft I learned from Terry Pratchett. Oh, bless his soul. May the gods send him back. Send him back to planet Earth. I miss him. So an enchanted justice going on. Hang in there. You're allowed to wax and wane in your emotions. Let every emotion that you are feeling right now in terms of romance be given its full emotional arc. If it needs to cry, if it needs to laugh, if it needs to scream, just don't key anybody's car. No one needs to see it. Nobody needs to know about it unless you're working with a good friend, right? A healing practitioner of some kind. I am a spiritual counselor. I have cried with so many men and women about the path of true love over my, how many decades of a career have I been doing this? It is essential. If you don't allow that, it just keeps repeating. A lot of the things that happen in the quantum model, meaning looking at this world as sort of like a video game to make you better, to increase your skill set, in this case probably of the witch, let's not forget that. The experiences that come to you are necessary for balancing you out, teaching you what you need to learn so that you can walk the path of true love in balance, not in balance. What's underneath this? What's going on at the core? Which is where we sort of live as Piscean, Sun, Moon, Rising, anything, right? That deeper connection, the core. We've got, said before, the Three of Cups. Now, keep in mind, that really says that there is an emotional bond between you and whoever, whatever this romantic Four of Cups is about. So there's still stuff going on inside of you. So obviously feeling and dealing and allowing these voices, these emotions to flow through you, because they're water. It's like we're not our emotions any more than we are hydrogen and oxygen. We're not. H2O, it moves through us. Yes, we drink it. It's has its metabolic effect on us, hydrates us, but then it's gotta go out, right? So if you think of your emotions, particularly emotional pressure, as emotions that have not been given a voice, they literally come up. It's like, it's an emotion, it's in the cell tissue, it comes up through the emotional field, hits that heart chakra, throat chakra, you choose to breathe, to let it out, to come out, and tears, and poof, becomes thought, and out it goes. It's like evaporating water into air. So sure, there's an emotional bond between you and this person. Chances are they're feeling it too, or there would have been another card there. And what's the angels talking about? Divine guidance. So yeah, you haven't fucked up. If this has not gone the way that you wanted to, and by the way, in the quantum divine plan, it's not about what you want. It's about what you need on a soul level. I really would not have written it that way. I would have created a different pocket dimension where everybody gets exactly what they want all the time, and I'm sure it's a burnt out planet within the first, 24 hours of the scale, right? Gone. We can be really destructive if we don't really get what we need instead of what we want. So with this card of divine guidance, right, just follow your gut. Don't necessarily follow your emotions. People say follow your heart. Well, unless you're a homicidal maniac, then don't follow your heart so much, right? But follow the guidance, follow the grace. It's there, but it's deep. You can't screw up the divine plan. This couldn't have happened any other way. Whatever's going on, whether it's truly a sorrow, heartbreak kind of deal, or whether it is like a test. You could say even with this enchanted card of justice, not a pass-fail, but like a litmus test. Like sticking the toothpick in cake, right? Just and pull it out, see if it's clean, right? You done yet? You ready yet? And it doesn't feel like a pass-fail, because nothing in the divine is pass-fail. Although according to the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's not much wiggle room there, but we're going to move on. The next position is what's before you, recent past, right? I'm sorry, it's your behind. I get those two screwed up. What's behind you? The past, recent past. Like, what's in your behind? Let's see what's in your behind, my little fishy Pisces, shall we? We've got one of those, and we've got one of these. Two of flames. Sexuality, creativity, attraction, fire, but not really, this is like, well, do I want to, or do I want to? Like, do I... if you're on any dating apps, it's like, well, do I give this person my phone number? Do I want to meet them in public? Do I want them to just come over? Do I want to just eat them alive? You have the desire, you have the fire, but there's some true indecision there, because decision is an element of fire. It's throat chakra. Will I or won't I? Spit, swallow, or chew? I like a third option. Right? So got that in your behind. Now with music, which says to me that this might have been not such a passing thing, that actually had a beginning, a middle, and end, like a song, like told kind of a story. There are certain albums, music, songs in our lives that really typify a particular era or something that we are going through. Also indicates that there might be an element of music here with this attraction, that there's a certain song playing that was very meaningful, or you met at a musical event, or one of you are musical, both of you are musical. But certainly music and emotion for Pisceans, because it's very vibrational, right? Like when the music's really pounding, the water in the glass vibrates. I know, it's a little Jurassic Park, but you know what I'm saying? So definitely there was some harmonic movement here. And keep in mind, because I did study some music theory, nearly killed me. I can barely play Willie the Whale on the piano. But that harmony is not two notes right next to each other. There is a gap, right? They're usually thirds, that to give that space. And with that Four of Cups here in your present position, I would recommend that, pulling back a little bit, that if you are triggered, or perhaps you're way over the moon than is balanced for you to be at this point, kind of go in and talk to that kid, because it's probably not about the other person in the romance. This is your own stuff coming up to be cleared, although through divine guidance. The two of you were guided together, but that doesn't mean happily ever after and you're going to get what you want. God, I wish it was. Goddess, I wish it was. But it doesn't work that way. You're scheduled, you're scripted to work with some people, yes, because of past life stuff, which I'm going to say there may be a touch of that in here. But more importantly, so that you guys can heal, right? Rather than get what you want, you heal, right? Because crackheads want crack. That doesn't mean they're going to heal when they get it. No. Let's move up to the 5th position, the crown. What's coming in? What's incarnating? Like an inspiration that becomes a thought, that becomes a choice, that becomes an emotion. What's coming in through the crown? We have got, all right, good, 7 of Pentacles, appraisal, excellent. I love this card because appraisal is assigning value, right? I'm going to be getting a new car, well, a new used car. I think a Toyota RAV4 I'm getting, or something like that. I need something with a little payload in back, because I'm a top. No, because I do travel here and there. I travel and I teach, and, you know, it's good to have, to put luggage and shit in so I can drive. I mean, I'll fly, but I love to drive. So it's that thing. I'm going to obviously have the car appraised, right? I'm going to have somebody look at it and go over all the thing. I mean, please, I have lawyers in my family. I'm like, guys, I cannot read all this language in this contract. I don't understand that much Latin. I know it for spell work, but, you know. Why is it in every fucking TV show witches have to fucking chant in Latin? Like, there are other languages. That's why I like Vampire Diaries. They brought French into it. That was kind of cool. So there's an appraisal here, right? An assigning of value. What is it worth? Is this worth it? And if that's what's coming in, then this card should be very interesting. Appraisal of new love. Then this is something new. So the emotional part of this, I mean, unless there is this emotional release of this 2 of Flames deal and another one comes right in, happens. Depends on how available and active you are in your life, right? But certainly an appraisal of new love says to me that you're being given the time and the opportunity to step back, right? Just like this farmer is doing, looking at these sunflowers. Do I want to plant these again? Do I want to keep on going? So already there might have been a bit of a justice judgment call here going on in the present moment in the environment that you're in, and what's coming is the opportunity to step back and appraise this, whether this is the same or a new one, because maybe in the recent past, although it is in the present moment, this card of the 4 of Cups with romance, some sort of emotional upset, feeling good, feeling not so good, bringing yourself into balance in some way that you can't see. I mean, give yourself the time, even if there is emotional upset going on, so that this appraisal doesn't come from all screw him, screw them, I hope they die, right? Because you're allowed to have those feelings, but do you want that as part of your appraisal, rather to say, is there a new way I can bring love to myself here, right? What is the value of me loving these emotions? Or really getting, do I want to give this another shot? Because are you in it to get what you want, or are you in it to grow, heal, learn, become the best that you can be, and fulfill your role in the divine plan? Because that's what true love does. That's the way true love goes. Let's look what's before you on the path, not what happened before, but like the future connected to the card of the 2 of Flames in music and the 4 of Cups with emotional release, sorrow. Another Cups card. Now, one of my slight complaints about the Daughters of the Moon Tarot are the words that are often printed on it, like that 4 of Cups, sorrow. This one, the 7 of Cups, is jealousy. Now, sure, 7 of Cups can be about jealousy. Think the traditional Rider-Waite, right? Those 7 cups in the sky, all them clouds, each got a different thing in them that we want, that we yearn for, and that we can feel very jealous about when somebody else has it and we don't. So I'll accept that as a meaning of this card. But to me, the 7 of Cups here is often about something that we're fantasizing, right? Something that we're not necessarily experiencing directly, but that is going on in our minds. In other words, the element of air is making the element of water shift, change. Like a gentle breeze across a lake or a fucking typhoon, right? You know, water spouts and shit like that. And what's interesting is we go from the 7 of Pentacles to the 7 of Cups, from the 5th position to the 6th position. So definitely some emotions coming up here, but as a result of something that may not be wholly, W-H-O-L-L-Y, true, or this is so much what we have dreamt about, so much of what we want that there's so much, it's the word, I hear you, fantastic. But fantastic has the root of fantasy in it, which means it may not all be up to snuff, in balance. So I think with this card of enchantment, which is sort of like another word for fantasy, kind of, sort of, maybe they're cousins, not the exact same meaning across the board, then to really get that, this is going to come up. Maybe there is some disillusionment, and there are cards in here that can speak of that certainly more than this one. But if there is a fantasy and illusion in place that's really causing an exacerbation of emotion, how I see it, flash flood, whatever it is, there's a lot of emotion in this spread, even though there are 3 water cards. You got the 4 of Cups in the first position, the 3 of Cups in the third position, and the 7 of Cups in the sixth position. A lot of emotion here. The only major arcana card in the microcosm in the first 4 cards of the cross itself. You have the card of Justice in the current situation that you're in with enchantment. Huge opportunity for you to come into balance and to be just and fair with yourself, and perhaps with this other person in this romantic situation. And if they are being unjust, it's an opportunity for you to balance the scales for yourself, set a new boundary, take care of yourself emotionally. Whatever, here's what I'm hearing, whatever it is that you want this other person to do yourself, right? If you want them to go talk to a therapist, go talk to a therapist, right? You want them to be more clear in their communications, you be more clear in your communications, not just with them, with everybody else, right? Because there is an a healing opportunity of commitment, but commitment to yourself, commitment to your wisdom as a wise being, if the word witch triggers you. Well, I kind of like that it triggers people. I tell people I'm a witch. I love the looks on their faces. It's just funny when it's on scruff, If you don't know what that is, it's okay. What do the angels say about this card of jealousy? Meditation, right? So this is not something that needs to be put on blast, right? Whatever your emotions are here, this is about contemplating it. And it certainly does speak of that mental aspect. So if you are visualizing, well, we're Pisces. This is what we do anyway. We dream, right? We're the 12th house. So if you're going to imagine things in a way that feels good and feels wonderful, that's called indirect manifestation. The emotions tell the soul that I'm visualizing this so that I can feel this way. I want to feel this way. The soul takes that in, communicates it to the subconscious, and therefore the universe. Can we have more experiences so that we can feel this way? That's why when you get into a negative role, right? I hate calling emotions positive or negative, but let's say a frustrating day, right? You step out of bed, one foot goes over, you step in cat barf. It happens, right? My boys, they're up every now and again. But it's like, right, in that moment, if you can go, it's okay. Better out than in. I'm sorry, my babies aren't feeling well. Move it into a place of love. But first thing in the morning, that's tricky, right? Same thing with visualization. You can visualize worst case scenario. And that's what we're trained to do since children in this world, right? So that we're safe. Great. So that we feel that emotion and tell the universe more of this, please. Well, then really use this 7 of Cups, right? Appraise what is the value of this new love. That's what's coming in next, so that you can say, you know what? I am going to visualize it the way that I want, but only so that I feel the way that I want to feel, and tell the universe to bring me in more experiences that feel that way. And feel like what? Well, that 3 of Cups, that emotional bonding with divine guidance, that this is meant to be somehow. This is scripted. This is wonderful. Even though it may very well be challenging, I feel alive. But that's not trying to control anybody, right? Be careful, my witchy poos. Look, if you are definitely a witch and using magic and spells and all that, and honey, I can crank out a spell. Give me 15 minutes and a Post-it note. I can write something with correspondences and magical implements, right? But Don't do magic on anybody you wouldn't want done to yourself. I will not entrap somebody with love spells. Love spells can be some of the most toxic, dangerous shit on planet Earth because it involves the human heart, and rarely does it work on people who are healing themselves and growing and evolving, right? And you wouldn't want that done to yourself. That shit is psychic flypaper, and it's the shadow side of the witch that making somebody fall in love with you. If that ain't love, that's date rape. That's magical rape is what that is. And if you disagree with that, well, wait until it happens to you. It ain't fun, right? When you play the other side of that. Well, because they probably won't use magic. They'll just like control and manipulate. That's the difference. One has candles, one doesn't. Right? So very, 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 very interesting thing. Use your emotions to meditate, contemplate, feel how you want things to feel, but that can also mean go inside and again meditate, talk to that child, allow that child to have its feelings, whether you consider them good, bad, or indifferent. The microcosm goes up the side. The microcosm is the first six. The macrocosm are more the universal aspects, what the universe is trying to teach you in 4 different ways, showing you 4 different things about the larger universal journey. So let's do that with number 7. I call it the lesson, right? Like what the gods are trying to teach you in this contract. The gods, the goddesses, you get the idea. It's the Pisces card, no shit. I love this deck, right? As much as, yeah, sometimes the words written on them are a little tricky because it's the only word written on them. I love the court card system in this deck because it comes right out and says Pisces written right on it. So you don't have to go, oh, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is the Pisces card, the mermaid. Mami Watu. So what is the lesson? This is about you being authentic. This is about you not just being emotional, but being true to your emotions. But that doesn't mean anybody else has to see it that way. Remember, 2 fish, and I love this paradigm, right? Dolphin and shark, right? Guppy and barracuda, right? So you gotta embrace the shark barracuda. Let it have its voice, but not to let it rip yourself or other people apart. That's the healing part of that. And with truth and integrity, that you be true to yourself, that you be authentic. Integrity is about wholeness. So you're being taught how to feel the entire arc of all of your emotions, right? Think Abraham Hicks' emotional guidance scale, right? From depression, I just want to die powerless, to ecstasy, bliss, I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find, I gave you a little Carpenter's vibe there, right? To be truth and integral in your own emotional field, to be true to yourself, to take care of you, to love you, but that doesn't mean the compassion for the other who may have triggered you or done something wrong, not so much in the divine plan, deserves to be eaten alive and pooped out. Let's just move on. From the outside looking in, position number 8, very helpful because we can't always see how we are, right? Even in a mirror, it's a reverse image. So what do the gods say? Playful. I love this card. 6 of Flames, considered the victory card. There's the 7 of Flames in this deck that is the victory card. I love that she took some time to dedicate a card to Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess of the sun. Very playful, very much a mother, though some see her as a crone, but they are very, very protective of their young, and of course very playful, right? That's why I live with my 3 black cat boys. I love my little boys. They're not little, they're mooses in cat form. But, you know, that playful aspect, like even when the older one, Sebastian, gets playful, like he'll flip a cat toy, he'll be tossing, I'll see it flip through the air. I'm like, you go, and then he flips through the air over it. So cute. So from the outside looking in, are you playing a player? Are you being a player? Are you putting out there, it's like, I don't care, I'm just here to have fun. We're deep inside. You're dying, right? Or you're so emotionally bonded to the place maybe it's not so healthy. So this truth and integrity lesson, being a Pisces, makes sense. What do the angels say about this card of play? Oh, fuck. My darlings, you got the soulmate card. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a soulmate because there isn't a twin flame card in this deck. So we're going to call that you are playing the game of a soul contract. Soulmate or twin flame. Check your twin flame and soulmate readings. I just did the twin flames for February into March. The The soulmate ones I did as well, but I'll be doing those again for this month. It's coming. Jeez, man. You are playing the game. You are in the soulmate game, but you need to play your role. Not just, let's play, but it's like, okay then. What is your role in a soul contract? Your role is to heal, to learn, to grow. In a soulmate contract specific, you're there to help each other heal. In a twin flame contract, you are here to learn how to heal through the relationship. Learn how to heal yourself, love yourself. Feels like this is more twin flamey, considering we're starting off with the romance card, but we've also got twin flames here, right? The two of flames in the recent past. Now, I'm not going to call that my twin flame card because it does not always mean that. But if this is a twin flame contract, you might want to go look at your twin flame read for February, March. Yeah, just did those. Those are all tricky as fuck, though, because they're tricky, transformative, tumultuous, lots of ta-ta-tas, triggery, soul contracts. But you do learn how to love yourself and heal yourself and all of that. Worth it. The 9th position, destiny, where you are on the hero's journey of the path of true love, what's available for you. Fate and destiny are not the same thing. Go watch the clarifying video on how I read the Celtic Cross, because it's a whole conversation. I teach tarot, and I love this position of the spread, but it's not telling you what your ultimate destiny is. Divination system can't do that. So what is the card of destiny here? Another 2. All right, analysis, the air version of this fire card here. The twos. So this is right now your destiny is available through analysis, looking at it from all different sides, like a fencer. Now, I've never fenced a day in my life. Been out riding fences for too long. Only a certain age range of people are going to get that reference, and that's okay. Desperado. Fencer, right? It's like they're not just thinking about their next move, they're thinking about their opponent's next move, and then how they're going to counter, and then how they're going to counter to their counter. It's very strategery. It's very strategic, but mental, and yes, can drive you nuts. That's why being in balance with your emotions, good idea. And I'm really seeing this thing of balance here in terms of Ma'at with enchantment, that you're really being given an opportunity to balance out the psychological aspect of who you are in a romantic relationship, which is everybody has to do that on the path of true love sooner or later, and usually not just once. Because, darling, this is an answer to your prayer. Right? Can you pull back and say, all right, my destiny comes from me really looking at, how is this an answer to my prayer? How is this a benefit to me on my spiritual path? How has this chipped away the excess marble, right? The excess baggage, the excess whatever, so that I can be more light? No, not like, light, but lighter on the path, right? More playful. To say, all right, this is a game, let's play. How can I look at this as an answer to my prayer? Now, one way that I find I can do that, it's like, oh, this person is tap dancing all over my daddy issues, right? Or my abandonment issues, or my what have you, right? We all have them, right? Abuse, neglect, codependency. Oh, this is someone who's trying to lure me into a codependent patterning. Well, let's play along. All right, I'll go out for date number 1. Let's see how this goes. But only I have to feel good about my choices, sweetheart. So, you know what I'm saying? I will play, right? But this isn't my first time at the rodeo. I made this path what it is. I could break it just as easily. You know, I did that monologue to get my gay card back in the 80s. You don't have to audition, regardless of what some people think on Scruff. Okay, last card down, outcome. Now look, your 6th position and your 10th position are mutable, changeable, right? Because they're what's ahead. It's like GPS. You don't have to go there, but it usually takes some effort to change the destination. So this card, the meditation, the visualization, the fantasy that brings about emotion, good or ill, controlled or it controlling you. So this 10th position is the same in terms of an outcome. Changeable, mutable. But good though. 6 of blades, since you have the 6 of flame here from the outside looking in, I would go for this. It is called manipulation, but it's mental manipulation. Think again, Rider-Waite deck, Six of Swords, right? The gondola, the guy sort of ferrying the woman and the child out of choppy waters into still waters. So this can be about therapy, about journaling, about healing the mind, affirmations, meditation. Again, with that word meditation there, contemplation, definitely something even to the extent of analysis, not necessarily psychoanalysis, although if that's working for you, that's working for you. But the power of the witch to manipulate, manipulation itself is neutral, right? Have a headache, take an aspirin. You just manipulated, right? It's cold, you turn the heat up, you just manipulated. So that idea of manipulating the mind, and I have to say that's a little indicative here in your sixth position about really taking the reins, if you will, coming into balance by saying, all right, mentally, I am going to imagine exactly what I want, manipulate my mind, again, like asking the question and analyzing how is this an answer to my prayer. I'm going to work on the element of air so that it influences my emotion, so my emotion signals to my soul and the subconscious more of these feelings, please, more experiences, even if it's not this person that I experience it with. And that's why you hear over and over, sure, cast, pray, visualize. Ooh, my ears ringing. But this is what it means to let go of the outcome. If it's not with them, fine. I'm what? I'm playing the game, and I might very well be going through preparations to have an actual romantic, intimate, sexual soulmate contract fulfillment here. So whatever it is going on here, if this really is crying over spilt milk, in romance, spilt jizz, cry your eyes out, do the emotional work. Doesn't mean that you were wrong, doesn't mean that there wasn't a soul bond here or a soul connection. Absolutely there is. But this means this soul agreed to help you get to where you need to go. And it probably wasn't fun for them either. Or won't be. So we've got this last card down with manipulation, the changing of the mind, the spin. This card has no negative key. It's the same all the way around. So what the angels are of blessings, to say that you are going to see what your blessings are if you, right, focus, change turn your perspective a little bit. And it does seem to be a trend here in this spread with the card of the Six of Blades and the Two of Blades, right? So that you can play the game and be authentic to your emotions in the macrocosm. Very, very cool reading. We've got two more cards down. Just purely the words of the divine, because I try and work every time with my angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. We're going to talk to the higher selves of all involved, my own included. Like, I know I'm a Pisces moon. I don't know if I'm in this one. Maybe I am. I'll look at it later. So let's use the Whispers of Love Oracle to get you one card from the higher self, right? Your higher self. In terms of what it is that you need to know or do. Sometimes these cards come right out and say, do this! A nice deep breath. Oh, hi, higher self, the higher selves of all involved, please, just one card, a whisper of love for this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, on where they are on the path of true love, just some piece of guidance and grace from the higher self collective, please. Be in the present moment and dream of the future, absolutely. Be in the present moment. Come here. Whatever is going on, right? In your present moment. Yeah, you may be crying your eyes out, or you may be overwhelmed, or you might be overjoyed about this romantic thing. Be in the present moment, and then where does it jump to in the sixth? Because past, present, future, and this is the even numbers, 4, 2, and 6, then it's dreaming of the future. Again, that card jealousy is not the picture I would visualize, but that idea I'm going to meditate and fantasize to be not in control of my emotions, but to influence them, to, if you like, play with them in terms of a soulmate thing, but the trick is not becoming attached. So be in the present moment and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. Everything is possible, but is everything probable? Because if there is somebody that you are scheduled, contracted to be with, you're going to be with them, right? And you may want it to be somebody else, somebody from the past, or somebody in the present, but really, if the satisfying soulmate, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic contract is calling. You're being prepared for it. That's the one you want. Let go. I know it's not easy, but if you can be truthful, saying, but I really want this one, and it's okay, but in my wholeness, I know I have to move through this, and I will. If it kills me, I'm going to play the game. And that's what you got to do. Because you know what? If you don't do it in this life, you're going to do it in the next. So when it comes to time versus intensity, I'll take intensity. Let's get this over with. I am from New York, born and bred. Let's get your last card down. Oh, yes, a healing mantra. You think I wasn't going to give you a Matt Kahn healing mantra deck card? How could I not? Particularly on the path of true love. There, it's all about healing. Breathe. Oh. My ascended masters. I'm glad you're having fun. Please, well, I guess you guys always are. Please, one card for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. What is the ultimate, perfect, delightful, delicious, lovely healing mantra to get them through this path, right? To guide them through that. As they repeat it, it can help influence the soul, letting the soul know that the personality is ready to heal, that they're ready to move forward on the path. Please, one card. There it is. Popped right into my hand. Now, one side of the card is the mantra. It's in English, don't worry. The other side of the card is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up and read you what's in the little bookie book, which is highly valuable in my opinion. Who do we got? Rewiring the nervous system. I got this one this week. I find strength in surviving my traumas. I find strength in surviving my traumas, which does then really point to this Four of Cups and romance being about a traumatic loss, or at least a spilling over of cups, but still one remaining. So there we go. I'm going to say, if there is any heartbreak going on here right now, that it is part of the healing script of your life, necessary. When a baby is born, doesn't necessarily have the strongest immune system on planet Earth, right? Must be exposed to antigens in order for antibodies to be created within the body's system, right? So rewiring the nervous system, I find strength in surviving my traumas. So let me read you this one. I got this one, I think, earlier this week. I find strength in surviving my traumas. When the nervous system is rewired, you are no longer trapped in the memories of your body, right? So it does feel like some of this might be a repeat, right? You're dealing with emotional baggage, unprocessed stuff from the past. You are the courageous hero or heroine of your present reality, the hero's journey, honoring every moment of hardship as the means through which your infinite strength and greatest depth of character is revealed, right? It's like I said, it's not really a hero's journey if there aren't challenges and villains and bandits and highwaymen, and it's just necessary. If you're going to be the hero, you need a villain. As you rewire your nervous system, you are no longer responding to life from the vantage point of your painful past, but instead are open to each encounter before miraculous. Let me go back there. As you rewire your nervous system, you are no longer responding to life from the vantage point of your painful past, but instead are open to each encounter being more miraculous than the moment before. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and because you're ultimately an immortal soul, a child of the divine, nothing kills you. So you might as well keep going, play the game, and saying, well, I'm going to develop a whole new skill set of authentic strength here as a result of what I've been through. Here we go. This mantra is ideal for adjusting to life after loss. Definitely indicated there. I was trying to be nice about it, but there you have it. Healing heartbreak. Definitely indicated there. I was trying to be nice about it. And becoming more optimistic, which I think is that play card. That it's like, okay, if this is what I had to go through, this is what I had to go through. I'm going to cry my eyes out. Nobody needs to see it. I don't have to post it. I don't have to slit their tires. I don't have to pee in their gas tank. I don't have to take revenge. But I can let this child of my heart feel all of this 24/7, 365 if needed. I am the mate of my own soul. I am the soulmate of the child of my heart, and I'm going to play along with this because all of this somehow, right, is a blessing. Now let me just pop up a picture and we'll go through this quickly for you in an overview. All right? Magic clap. We have your cover card, the Four of Cups with romance. Obviously now looking at the entire picture, a romantic loss, sorrow, an emotional release at least around a romantic relationship. Whether past, present, wouldn't necessarily be future, but it can be if you're driving yourself crazy about what may be. And what's in balance here, it's the card of Ma'at in the second position. The environment that you're in is an opportunity here, though you may not see it because you can't see what's coming. Things might be in disguise here. An opportunity for real justice and balance, but particularly the mental emotional balance we're getting here with the preponderance of air and water in this spread. Jumping down to the core, the third position here, the Three of Cups with divine guidance, that's the necessity of needing to calm the mind, because yes, you're not there, you're not wrong. This was guided. The two of you were guided to be together. You are being guided, and you will be guided to the next romantic partner. But really do what you need to do. Take the guidance and the grace that comes to you right now intuitively, not just emotionally. Just because you want to, never leave the house again, don't let that dominate. That's an emotion that can move through you like an element of water will, but does not have to identify who you are. In other words, you're not these emotions. Don't identify with them. You have them. Let them move through you to return to that place of optimism. Coming from the fourth position, definitely there was something musical about this this romance. That Two of Flames, perhaps it was very passionate, very fiery, but perhaps didn't get very far. Like I am seeing the Two of Flames and the Two of Blades here. Didn't we have another two here? No, that's the three. So maybe this didn't go as far, and like every song or piece of music has a beginning, middle, or end, which does indicate that perhaps there was a lot of indecision going on here, perhaps on both parts, but that this one is already over. The song, and it might have been a very, very fun song. It might have been a very hot song, but does feel like it concluded and did not go anywhere and is leaving you in this place of this card Ma'at, the card of justice, of feeling unbalanced, that it's unfair, right? Isn't that the word? Unfair. And as soon as I hear the words unfair in my energy field, I know that's the child going, it's unfair, it's not fair. And, it's so cliche, well, life isn't fair, but it is just in terms of the divine plan from the soul's point of view. The ego and the personality can hate that, and that's okay too, as we're sort of looking at perhaps in that Seven of Cups, but we'll get there. Because what's crowning, what's coming in is an appraisal, that Seven of Pentacles of new love. And maybe you're just appraising whether it's worth new love at all, right? Should I just be done with this? But if you really can see it, in your destiny position, right? That how is this an answer to your prayer? Take that into your appraisal. It is worth it. It is removing the excess marble from the magnificent creation that you already are. That's the joke about the path of true love, is you are becoming true love, and yet that is what you have always been, but you don't know it. And you can have the thought of it, you can have the belief in it, but are you having the living, breathing experience of being the unified field, of being unconditional love, of being divine love in human form, although you can be nothing else. Everything else is just lightly scribbled upon that blank page of your magnificent divinity. But then moving into using that power of your divinity to meditate, to contemplate, to visualize in a way that brings you the emotions that you want to feel, regardless of anybody else having to change at all. That's really the core of, if you like, water magic, right? To be able to shift your own emotions according to the focus of your mind. Contemplation, meditation, that, as I said again, and I will say it again, said before, I will say it again, infects the quantum field. Yes. Is that how you manifest reality? Well, indirectly, if you detach from the outcome and said, this is the way that I want to feel, and I'm going to practice feeling this, right? The more I embrace feeling this, the less I will eventually have to feel perhaps this other stuff, the balance of it somehow. So bring me more experiences in the physical world that trigger this feeling that I am experiencing here. And believe me, if you need to visualize chopping the other person's head off, setting them on fire, all of that stuff, if it's there to help you express it, and Louise Hay had this wonderful thing in You Can Heal Your Life. I believe that's the book, where she said when you really hate somebody or are angry with them, go ahead, put them on a stage, hit them with rotten tomatoes, drop a Acme safe on them, but then see them as the child, right? The child that is scared, the child that is terrified, and compassion will come out, because that's all of us, right? So brilliant microcosm. Looking at the macro here, your lesson is about truth and integrity of being a Pisces, right? Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, whatever your placement is there, to really, really have the truth and integrity of your own emotions. But integrity doesn't mean you blame everybody, right? Integrity means that you are going to love and heal and embrace and be authentic to how you feel as a water sign with this placement, because from the outside looking in, you are playing the soulmate game, and worth playing, right? You are on a hero's journey here, but that you can do this much lighter. And as a matter of fact, that might be what's coming for you in terms of your own personal way or point of view of being in relationships. Is all right, well, then if this is all a quantum divine game, let's play. But this time I'm bringing a helmet. This time I'm going to be a little bit wiser, right? I'm going to be the witch that I am, right? In terms of what? A commitment. Let's not forget that overlighting card of commitment here. Maybe there was a commitment in this romantic situation and it's just not working out, or maybe the commitment has been broken. Either way, the position of destiny, that Two of Blades, the card of analysis, you have the opportunity to achieve a piece of your destiny on the hero's journey of the path of true love by analyzing, thinking about, contemplating, how is this an answer to my prayer? I prayed and this is what I got, so how is this? You can be a little sarcastic about it. I don't think the gods and the angels mind, but then you really do have to look at it from other points of view. How did this benefit my soul's development, my enlightenment, my own healing, becoming the truth, particularly with truth and integrity here in the 7th position with Pisces? How is this bringing me more into the truth of who I am? And ending with, at least in the Celtic cross, that 6 of Blades, manipulation with blessings, that you will be able to see the blessings here, there, and everywhere coming from every side, but it's going to take you really changing your mind, seeing things differently. Particularly, I love this, that the higher self said, be in the present and dream of the future. When you dream, everything is possible, because it is putting you back in touch with the truth and integrity of your Piscean emotional power as you are rewiring the nervous system, chanting, repeating the mantra, I find strength in surviving my traumas. There is something so empowering about that. I had this one earlier this week. And it really did give me that sense of invincibility, not so much of my personality, which, you know, feels strong, comes and goes like weather and bloat, but in that real emotional sense of the soul, that it's like, no, I've been through hell, I'm still here, I am resilient as fuck, I am Pisces, hear me breach, hear me swim, hear me whatever, slap my tail against the water, I'm here and I'm ready to play the game. Pretty damn good one. Tricky, sure, but if anybody's expecting the path of true love to be without heartbreak, honey, what movies are you watching, right? Every movie, right? Nora Ephron, there's always a heartbreak. There's always loss. There is no gain without loss. There is no loss without gain. If you're a witch, you know that already through the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the moon, right? So don't forget, you are gaining such soul wisdom here. Soul power is being alchemized from lead to gold. And so use your knowledge and your wisdom to serve you, to make deeper commitments to yourself, perhaps deeper commitments to friends and family, but know that you are being prepared for that soulmate contract where, if you want the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, committed partnership, monogamous, you're being set up for that. And your own emotional resilience by the time you get there will be so amazing, such strength, such love, to the point where you're like, hey, let's just see how this goes. If we don't do it in this life, we'll do it in the next, baby. That's a fun person to be around. And you know what, Pisceans? We are fun people to be around when we're feeling it. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Let's give you the blessing. May the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in there, on the path of true love, myself included, for March 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may feel, that they may become the best that they can be for the well-being of all and fulfillment of the divine plan. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment. I want to know how this one is for you, because I am a Pisces moon and I like to know. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed, as I always do. My Pisceans, here, this is our secret handshake. My mer people, I love you so much, my brothers and sisters of the Piscean school of fish. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed be.